Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Laurel Park. Naomi Tucker alongside Keith Fuse. We've got a big card ahead of you on Belmont Stakes Day, so we hope that you'll join us. You've got plenty of wagering opportunities coming your way to watch all the action from New York as well, but we got plenty of our own with a couple of opportunities for sure.
We do. The place is rocking already. Good crowd already early on at Laurel Park and Belmont, starting early. Hopefully you can tune in to us because we've got really good action. We've got value galore. We've got some bigger fields. We are on the turf. You got to like that. So, yeah, I mean, these cards are a little tricky. You're talking about it. You kind of get through a certain point. You're like, man, I still got 3 more races to do. I got a lot of work ahead of me. And it is tough. It is work. We're going to try to help you, maybe not to have to do as much work and join along with us. And hopefully we can give you a couple winners, some exactas. We were all around it pretty good yesterday as well.
I agree. Yep. Well, let's have a look at the current track conditions. Main track is fast. Turf track, good. We did have some moisture overnight, but look how green that grass is looking.
It's plush. It's ready to roll. Let's get on it. Let's get some of these big fields and get some prices.
All right, well, let's get going here. Race number 1 is $5,000 conditioned claimer, 1 turn at 1 mile. We have a video spotlight here on Camp Pendleton because last time I had a look there, he was going around the 2 turns. We know the start is important there because that bend comes up quickly. Got away a bit tardy there, ends up getting shuffled back, not having that forward position, and then going into the bend. A couple of occasions he kind of had to get taken back by Charlie to avoid some trouble.
Yeah, Charlie Marquez back. He's making his presence known. A winner yesterday. Unfortunately, here this a little awkward beginning in there. Just kind of a little tough to settle in behind horses. You see that sometimes. They're tough to get to relax, check right there. Probably cost him a length and a half when it was all said and done. Nobody was going to beat Money in the Bank this day, but I like the way Camp Pendleton kind of recovered. Circled, lost ground, 4 wide, 5 wide, maybe top of the stretch, but really kind of kept on grinding to the wire. A willing effort is proven over the surface. A win 3 races back at this mile distance. A cleaner break. Just an awkward break last time. I think a straighter break, and this horse will be able to kind of gradually move up to get within striking distance by the time they hit the top of the stretch. The stablemate, I should say, 5-star Phil, though, going to be an awfully short price here for Rudy Sanchez-Solomon.
Yeah, and he's going to try and perhaps set the tone early here as well. Plenty of speed stretching out to that mile. You always know that with those series pace threats, if nobody's really pressuring them, it's easy to carry their speed over a longer distance when there doing it well within themselves. I landed on Emphasize. I see you have him in your exacta for the Silliman Bond. Of course, we know how red hot that bond was at Pimlico. Joined meet leading trainer that time. Got back on the main track in his last race. Cleared that 9 minutes of 2 live conditions with relative ease after going wide. I like his running style for this second wire event.
I tell you, it was a strong third quarter in that last race. It was called out wide, and that's the kind of move. The move to strike by the time they hit the top of the stretch. And we see with these mile races, nobody really makes a big explosive move the last eighth of a mile on this dirt going to the 1 turn. It's kind of a steady, gradual progression. Emphasize has the move to kind of put him where he needs to be by the time they hit the top of the stretch. I think we're both going to try to beat 5-star Phil. It's going to be about even money, 6-5, maybe even a touch lower when it's all said and done. A little suspicious drop. If he's vulnerable, I think he might be vulnerable at the mile distance. Let's roll to the second.
Both trying to beat him indeed. Now, second race of the day starts at early pick 4. You're our early pick 4 person. How are we playing it?
Brutal beat yesterday. Need a big, tall dog. Just got beat yesterday in our last leg of that early pick 4. Great ride by Yom Ortiz, though, on 7 on the rocks. That was a really, really good ride to work from between horses after being up on the early lead. $27 ticket, 2 deep to get you started. 8 and 9, Mary Jane Chrome, pounding music. You can't take anything less than about 3 to 1 in race number 2. We've got, and that goes for most of the races today. That's how wide open they are. Race 3, 247. I like Gallant Gold today. I'm going to key around that one. Race 4 with the 1, 5, and 11. Some price plays definitely with the 1 and the 5. First Lady D-Dot could be favored for Silliman. I could see that around that 7 to 2, 3 to 1 range. Wrap it up in the 5th with the 1, 3, and 7. Got to try to beat Tate. Tate might have just found the field today, but Password Protected I think is going to be a speed threat a long way in here. $27.
I'm trying to beat Tate as well. I mean, he has been beaten favorite on
Oh, yes,
plenty
he
of
has.
occasions. I think
Yep.
he's currently 1 win 9 seconds. He's good at running second, so I'll try to use him underneath there. But yeah, race number 2 is the first of 5 turf events on today's 10 race card. Mile 16 a distance. Optional claim and starts allowance for the ladies here. Just going to start with your top selection here, Keith. I use her underneath as well. Mary Jane Chrome from Mikey Durales. She came from nowhere to run second late after last time out after looping the fields. Close second. The blinkers are coming off. That might just help her go with the pack a little bit more early, perhaps.
Yeah, and I think if she can just save a little bit more ground, we can go to the rerun, right? Do we have a video of Amplio Schema? That's out of that same race,
We
if
do.
I'm not
Yep.
mistaken. So let's just go ahead. We'll pick up Amplio Schema, and out wide, the 4 in this particular race is Mary Jane Chrome, who was wide every step of the way. Takes a little cover here at the 3A, so we're kind of following these. We've got a couple of horses out of that race. Evangeline Alonz is also in there circling 3 wide, the 8 horses particular afternoon. So they're wide in the blue with the red blinkers is our top selection, Mary Jane Chrome. Now working through traffic, white cap, number 1 there in the white and the red silks. Amplio Schema just kind of, gets bottled up there a little bit, Naomi, and has to kind of wait. Full momentum to Mary Jane Chrome and the eventual winner there in a spin. Amplio Schema finished up well. Might be a little tighter, might be a little closer this afternoon. Can certainly handle the extra ground. It looks like the 8 can as well. I thought it was an interesting move with the blinkers. The horse ran well with the blinkers on.
I think it also had to do with perhaps that the pace was pretty solid that day, so she might just be a lot more closer than we'd expect, but with a bit more of an average pace to go into. I used the number 6, a real hero on top for trainer Anthony Ferrier. She finished behind 2 next out winners in that turf race 2 starts ago, and that allowance. Find herself with some class relief relatively to her turf race. And this is going to be your second time running on the grass. Now, we've said it before. First time, sometimes trying to figure out, how does it feel to go fast on the grass? And then the second or the third time, they really start to hit their stride.
What do you see with her? I mean, do you see her going, or do you see her kind of tracking like she did last time? She comes out of the right race.
I think she's going to track. That was my my idea of what her perfect position would be. Tracking, perhaps Evangeline Allon has the speed to go forward. She's gone to the front before in the Salima Stakes. So trying to, look, it's an interesting one. Trying to figure out who's going to go. She's running happy, has some speed from the inside as well. I think my top selection would be better off just kind of sitting in that second flight.
And that, 7th beat in 5. Okay, but you see who beat her, Belle Belisa, who came back and just dusted in a other than field by open length. So, yeah, I could see that. I'm going to use this horse in the exactas. I think Pounding Music has to be used. Back to the turf, a really good effort at a mile. Difficult to settle. Was stymied at the quarter pole 2 races back and really finished up well. A strong final quarter. It's the 16th of a mile. She might be just a little bit better at a mile, but she fits with this group, and I think she's going to escape at an okay price. I'm going to key around the 8 and the 9. The 1's a blow-up kind of a horse. Run Happies you don't really think of. Turf, they're 9% going long.
More of a turf,
but
more of a dirt sprinter,
there
right?
is a ton of turf in this family. So a little flyer maybe sends from the inside with Jan Aviles.
I do have a lot of time for Pounding Music as well. I ended up not using her, but she really hasn't done anything wrong. Like you said, anytime she hasn't run well is when she's got into some traffic, because she isn't that early speedster type. She rolls late like she did 2 starts back on the turf. Race number 3 is a claiming 40,000 to 32,000 race. 6 furlong sprinting the distance on the main track. We use similar horses, different order though. We'll start with your top selection here. Gallant Gold. I know he's your best bet of the day. Very much sold on his John Saltzman trained runner. Drops in class. Last time at this level, he won by 3 3/4 lengths, going 5 furlongs. Also cuts back after going long, which kind of dirtied up his form a little bit. And
that's what I like. When he scores at a price. Again, best bet we talk about. But I like prices. I want to give you something you can make a little bit of money off of. And Gallant Gold looks like he's fallen in the right kind of spot. I would have liked to have seen Never Silent stay in to kind of force the issue, because Lantau is going to be tough along with Mosifus. They look like the two to kind of set the pace here. But Gallant Gold has proven at the sprint distances. He's run against the right kind. You see 3 races back at 5 and up. Not quite enough. 6.5, yes. 6 hits this guy right in the head. I think dirtied up form. I love it. Arojo from off the pace sprinting.
I know you like to find stuff out. Look, I respect him in here. I do go with Lantau on the outside. As you highlighted, we do have a scratch of the 3 Never Silent, so that will help Lantau possibly navigate that lead for him. Looks to be the fastest on early time from U.S. pace figures. And his last 3 dirt starts, 2 win and a narrow second beaten by a nose. This horse is just very, very proficient on the main track over this distance. I see him getting the job done again here. But do you have some respect for Hefner as well in second? Back to shorter distances for him, for trainer Ned Allard. Last time at this level going long, he made an early move and got bested into second 2 starts back. I think we're going to see a different Hefner again today.
He's versatile. He had a terrible trip last time out going long. I think he can drop back here to 6 furlongs and make his presence felt from somewhere from mid-pack. Mosifus, first time gelding, tactical as well, just falling a little short of these, but maybe a change here is going to do him some good. Lantau looks like the horse. If anybody's going to separate Naomi from the field, it could be him, and Robbie's been great.
I hope he will.
35% over the last 45 days is Robbie Bales. Yep.
Yeah, race number 4 is a maiden claiming 16 to 12,500. Race for fillies and mares, 3, 4, and 5-year-old. Mile and eighth the distance on the turf. Love a good field going along on the turf. You can see we have
look at our
very
numbers
different
all over the map.
Well, and that's what it should be. We have a big field here. This is wide open, and you want to try and take a couple of flyers. You landed on the number 5, Lucky Lorraine, coming back of a small break in here, and also getting on the turf for the first time for trainer Mary Epler. They've tried to get her on the turf in the past. It rained off there. Look, that wasn't a bad outing last time out, going 7 here at the maiden 16 level.
No. Tried to get on the turf last fall, right? Okay, couldn't do it. Last time out, that return was good. Behind, Mary Jane Grome was taken to the turf and run well.
True.
Not Super Sabres, okay turf. Bottom side there, Swear By It made $159,000 on the turf. Was, I think, grade 3 stakes placed. Mary Epler tried to get Barbosa, was named. Barbosa had his choice. He was on 3 horses on the early.
I saw that.
Yeah, so
yeah,
he
the
ends
early
up,
call.
yeah, he ends up on First Lady Dida. Mary's had some good fortune with Barbosa. I know she searched. He says, no, I'm going to go somewhere else. I think if Velo is just perfectly fine. First turf, why not? Nobody's been like blazing on the grass in this field. I like the return try. I think this horse can close into it.
Oh, I like your pick. I did land on First Lady Dida. As you mentioned, Jerome Barbosa ends up here. She's been campaigned at Tampa over the winter and has showed improvement. That late running fourth, finishing fourth there by only 3 lengths. Last time out, that was a barn. Of course, we already mentioned how well the barn has been doing at Pimlico. I'm hoping they're going to transfer that momentum for a filly that clearly has shown a little bit better as well in the past. When she was here at Laurel Park, going the mile in 16 is one of her best figures of her entire career. So I think getting back to Laurel just a touch longer here today is going to help her.
I think it's fine. Yeah, she doesn't have any real sharp moves. She may not need it against this group. She gets in a little bit light here and saves a little bit with Barbosa. 121 still carrying some weight out of a good race, though. Barrel of Bliss came back to run second. Novala wins a maiden claim in 40 down at Gulfstream. Certainly. The one is another one. We're going to go third time Rudy Sanchez Solomon. Golden Sense, 13-14% on the turf. The mare ran an 84 on the grass. We've got inside speed to carry here. The field doesn't really have a ton of proven speed. Maybe like an Eagle go out. Just a live long shot for a barn, that's certainly capable. There you go. 5-1, 11-6. There's a lot of ways to go.
There is so many ways. I used Little Miss Me in second time on the turf here, coming over from a tough Aqueduct race now to Laurel Park. I give her a chance in here as well in race number 4. Race number 5 claiming 16 to 12,500. No one is of 2 in their entire career. 1 turn 1 mile the distance. And I guess we're starting to get closer again towards our similarity in picks.
There we go.
You landed on the number 7 towards the outside. Password protected for trainer Anthony Ferrier. Has to transfer those Penn National figures to here, but I liked his Keeneland race. That's the kind of number that would work. It's going longer again, hence the blinkers off might allow him to settle and continue to that mile.
Yeah, the key is what does total effort do to his outside? Does he really press him into submission? I don't know. I'm hoping this guy relaxes with the blinkers off. He's his second time gelding. He's bred to be able to handle the route of ground as well. So take a little shot, 9-2 morning line. Maybe we'll get a little bit less. We try to be Tate.
Both of us are.
Tate didn't run awful last time. Was stuck down inside every step of the way and churned on. Contented now took a lot of play for 25,000. Tate certainly figures. Maybe this is the field he gets over the top. Hence, I'm going to throw him in my pick 4. Erewhon. I'll let you talk about that one. I think he is live. Yeah,
I think so as well. Last time of a course and distance, that was 2 starts back. He ran a career best figure. Got a bad start going 2 turns. Last time I was sent off for a break afterwards. Returns here, decent works. Gets Taislai Pistina on board. And Taislai Pistina definitely comes out and gets some run out of these horses. Some horses like running with her. She's been on him before. It was a very decent effort over a mile in 16, a little bit further back. That was in 2020. I think she fits this horse, and I think he can be sneaky good here from the inside, saving some ground and then coming with that late run.
Agreed. Back talent. And you look, okay, they were willing to drop him from October to December, run up for the tag for 16. Now they have the ability to waive. And they do waive. They waive the claim. So a little protection move here. Maybe everyone's showing a little bit more. Okay, maybe a little bit better, improved horse since late December. Yes.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by him here in race number 5. We'll take a small break.
Yep.
We'll be back with the rest of the card after.
Top by 3, by 4, and moving away.
Welcome back to Laurel Park. We have 10 races coming your way on this Belmont Stakes Day, which you can also wager on here from the comforts of our track. So do mention come out here and watch all the action unfold, whilst also betting bountiful of fields in here, including those 5 turf races as well. Race number 6, Rack on the Turf. We're sprinting on it. 5.5 furlongs the distance, maiden claiming 4 to 32,000 for fillies and mares 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. We have a video spotlight on the runner that I, in the end, didn't get to. Tim Keefe trained Watch Me Disappear. Now, she doesn't have much early pace, but I did like the way she was kind of trying to move up, and she ended up really keep on going in the final stages to get a 5th and a bit more of a blanket finish.
Just didn't really fire home. Maybe the blinkers on today is going to sharpen this filly up. Okay, this Great Notion filly shown a little bit. Debut was good in a big gaudy field. Laurel back in September of 21 to rally. Some suspect speed. There's going to be plenty of flow in here. I think the blinkers sharpen this horse up. Steady progression. It's going to make an impact this afternoon. A couple horses out there. There's a Shara down to the inside, the gray. Princess Palmer with the orange cap also right in the mix. Princess Palmer intrigues me because she was kind of out on, just kind of out there. No cover. Nothing really to kind of keep her attention. She kind of just faded late. I think she's a player from just off of it. She's going to be able to kind of get that boxed-in trip and bring a sharper run off of that from the top of the stretch home. You've got the 10 in there. I got the 10 in there. Foul balls. I'm a baseball fan. Yeah. Would have thought
is that your main reason for picking this horse?
Yeah, it's as good as any in this group. But no, I thought she was going to run a little bit better in debut. But it's that Grand Motion second out stat that we keep showing and showing and showing over the last year or two. Been huge. Twirling Candy, 17% on the turf. Yeah, why not? Why not? Ran against the grain in debut. There's a little excuse for that one. Another race. Take a horse or two. Demand a little bit of a price. 7 to 2, 4 to 1 or more. Top and bottom in your exactas with 3, 4, 5 horses. This minimum exact in here, this thing pays less than 40. I'll be shocked. $40, $45.
And that's where you're going to want to go for with these turf fields, with these opportunities, with these fields that seem very evenly matched. I use 12 o'clock Rock as my top pick. I see you have her underneath.
Yeah.
Her best visual race on the grass was going short last time out, setting the tone, holding on for a piece of it. She gets Dennis Araujo on board here. I think she's going to lay it close, and we know that Michael Trombetta does tend to do better with these horses. Coming back after a little bit of a small break, moving on the turf. I think this works.
I think it does. And I like Araujo with his style, the way we talked about him on these horses. You kind of make that one run. He's good with these kind of horses. This is a filly back in debut. It comes out of the same race as Watch Me Disappear back in September that closed a bit of ground, had to, was, steadily handled late and just couldn't quite get up. I didn't expect her to be that sharp last time in zooming to the front. She went awfully quick.
I thought that was pretty impressive.
Throttle the speed down some and bring a finish this afternoon.
I hope she makes it happen here. Race number 7 is the start of the late pick 4. I tried my hand at that. This is how I play it. Now, I was very, very tempted to single in the first leg. I was like, I either single on Charming Way, or I'm going to go very deep and see if there's a possible option, because I know that if there is, the price is going to be there. So I thought, you know what, why not? It's now an $18 ticket, 1, 5, 6, and 7 here in the opener. And I mean, it's going to be tough to beat Charming Way, but if it happens, if she doesn't turn up here, I've got something locked in. 2, 4, and 8 here in the 2 other than optional claimer. I key around all these but goodies in that spot. He's coming in here first via the claim for trainer Jamie Ness, but even before that, really like the way he returned from his break. I single in race number 9. I actually end up singling on Smarten Up. I thought Smarten Up in his last outing was up against some tough runners up there at Monmouth, and then last time out here, Federico Tessio didn't get the right kind of start, broke outwards, got shuffled around a little bit. I think he finds himself with a better fielder. I am a touch afraid of Uncle Irish on the inside, though, but I'm hoping Smarten Up can get the job done. 1, 3, and 9 for me in race number 10. That is our nightcap for an $18 ticket. Look, you can go either way. You can go single here in race number 7 on Charming Way, or you can go deep like I did, hoping that maybe Charming Way isn't turning up like we used to. It's going to be hard. It's a hard case to make. She's ultra consistent. Her figures are much, much better than the rest. But if it happens, I'm ready for it.
You said it perfectly, though. Go back and play another ticket. What's it going to cost you? An extra $9 or so? You know, single the one. If you want to add one other horse in your race with Smarten Up, then so be it. Go do that as maybe your saver, your protect ticket. So, lots of ways to go. But you're definitely right. Charming Way is going to be a heavy single, I believe, in these later races.
And that's what I figured. Everyone's going to single on Charming Way.
Yep, agreed.
Do you think we might see her beating you? You have a couple of other horses.
Man,
I mean, it's a very tough case.
Yeah,
Champagne Coach will have to run a career best here to beat her.
This is the time of year, and Bill always talks about it, my partner with Echo Base. You want these 3-year-olds that are kind of improving, getting better, facing these older horses, been trying to get through these conditions. She looks like the one. She got a little lucky, scratched out of a tough spot yesterday. 78 won it for the Pletcher horse, 78 buyer for Amore.
Amore.
Yeah. She's capable of a lower to mid-70 here, Charming Way. She's got tactical speed. She was on the better part of the racetrack last time out, but that was a good field, and she turned on. If she breaks cleanly, she is the most likely winner here at a short price to kind of go right to the front or sit just off of it. She's in very good form, and like I say, gets a definite assist out of that race yesterday to here. Much easier
She
spot.
was certainly helping. Oh, she's the definite runner to be in here, whereas Amore was going to be tough for Top Pletcher coming in. So they definitely didn't mind that she opted to go along here, I'm assuming. So, but we'll see if Charming Way could indeed get the job done here in race number 7. If not, might have a bit of a price pay on our hands there. Race number 8, optional claim at 2 other than 5.5 furlongs on the turf. And I landed on the horse that's our video spotlight. All these but goodies. I have a lot of time for this veteran runner. 7-year-old gelding. Returned with a bang after his freshener to also get taken out of that race by Jamie Ness. He had an inside draw that day, kept his position. That was over 5 furlongs. Was tucked in behind by Victor Carrasco, pulled out into the clear, and really start rolling, really start kicking there late.
You see, he really relished the trip. You know, just relaxed behind the 2 pace setters, found that seam, and boy, really responded to go away. I was shocked at his price, Naomi. I thought that was a big price at 9-2 this particular afternoon. He comes right back in a field that he should be super ultra competitive, maybe one of the horses to beat, if not the horse to beat. Does he get that same trip? Does he get that easy trip? I mean, it kept him focused around the turn, and he brought a sharp run. He could find himself on the lead against this group with the natural speed that he has. First off the claim, 7-year-old. He's going to be tough right back on her just off the pace.
Yeah, you use Radical Right, though, as your top pick. I have Radical Right as my exacta play for Joe Capuano. Look, he has not been off the board on the turf. It comes back here second after a break. Came back with a very, very strong performance behind Comedy Town that day. Look, this is a progressive individual. He's a 3-year-old, and he's moving in the right direction.
Yep, getting better and better and better. A good ride last time by Avello. Yes, 3 wide, but yes, kind of tucked up behind horses to keep his attention. Once he shifted out, he really finished up strongly. Trombetta got away at a big price that day with Comedy Town. That was a pretty bloated field, a big gaudy field of 11 horses. Because it's kind of tough to find a trip. He worked it out and finished up extra ground works. Second Lasix, like Radical Right, one of my keys.
Yeah, you have to determine Kingdom, though, underneath as well. I had him on and off. I was really kind of in between. Cuts back sharply here to the 5.5 on the turf. Has been keeping the right kind of company. He's dropping down from stakes class that they clearly thought very highly of him. He won the Jamestown, a Colonial as a juvenile. Really didn't know where to place him, to be honest, in this spot.
He beat my top selection, right? When you go on the go back, beat him clear. Now, Radical Right had trouble in that race. Determined Kingdom wants to sprint on the turf. This is what he needs to do. He's back at it today. Yes, he's getting better. You've got a live bug in Humphrey. Certainly he works. So do a bunch of – this is another. He's take 1 or 2 horses, key them. And Bolden was on my ticket and off my ticket. A lot of hope. You got a horse making a turf debut, but looking at the breeding, I'm sure you looked at it, right?
Yeah.
Editorial, broke the maiden on the turf. Second dam was turf. I mean, you've got it there.
Jerry Roberts always said that he wanted to have Street Loot try on the turf. Now, she ran on the turf at Colonial, finished midfield.
Yep.
A lot of hope. Similar profile, though. Like you said, the Grand Dam applied her trade with success on the turf. Why not take a try?
I think this guy might be bred a little bit better than Street Loot when you really break it down, the way I looked at it for the turf. So, this is going to be interesting. Very, very good field signed on for the 8th race.
Yeah, race number 9, first level optional claimer, 1 turn 1 mile. This is my single here with Smarten Up. Let's have a look at Smarten Up's last race here at Laurel Park. That was in the Federico Tessio. I mean, a race that, of course, produced an incredible stretch from between Joe and Mr. Jefferson. But what we just saw here with Smarten Up is that he creates his own trouble here at the beginning, unfortunately.
Yeah, just kind of wants to take a little bit of a right-hand turn, so I'm going to rack you guys up.
Yeah, goodbye, everyone.
and then it's this. Then he's just kind of hung out wide. You know, there was a period there you could be wide, and this I to go back to my biases, this might have been one, but he makes a pretty good menacing move here, right, to kind of engage the leaders, come into the 5/16 up to the quarter pole, but just really can't quite sustain. He's still holding form. I give him a little excuse last time on a sloppy track, went wide in that race with Buffalo, who came back to win an allowance race.
Yeah.
Smarten Up at the mile here today against this group. He catches the right kind of field. He should be able to draft over, save as much ground as possible around the turn. His finish should put him into the mix, 1-2 in this race. This is another, only a 7-horse field, but a lot of horses improving. Uncle Irish took advantage of a paceless kind of a race last time, took advantage of the inside and went on with. I'm intrigued by the 2, Rod to Rod.
Oh, tell me,
You got
Royal
that?
Spy.
Oh,
I
just
have
think,
him underneath. I just threw him in the off chance. He's coming back as a 3-year-old. Blinkers go on. First time LASIK. So many unknowns.
Yep.
And those first 2 career races were very strong. If he builds on that, we're in business.
Look at the fields. He's at Skippy Longstocking, came back, ran
Yeah.
okay in the Preakness. Strike Hard, a 3-time winner, was 5th in a recent stake down at Lone Star. He's proven it the 1 turn mile. LASIK's going on. You've got a trainer that's 0 for 7 this year, but somehow he's 31% when these horses transfer into his barn. That's a wake-up call for me, and he's got tactical speed in Toledo. There's a lot to like about the 2. The 2 and the 5 will be my keys in here. Uncle Irish can win from off the pace, no doubt about it, but, man, he had it easy last time out.
Yeah, no, very, very intriguing field. I'm not sure what to do with it, except that I really hope that Smarten Up is going to justify my faith that indeed that last race at Monmouth with the off going, with a couple of just strong horses in there, a couple of stakes winners in there that he was up against, best of the rest of the field. I still think that, like you said, he is holding his form. He is running his race. I think he's going to kind of just lay back and relax a little bit and then come with that move, because that part from that first wire to the second, that's when they're going to get caught out, and I think Smarten Up is going to do his best work there.
I'm also intrigued by the 3, Royal Spy. I was a fan of this horse after debut. You looked at the breeding on the bottom side, you're like, nothing there, was hammered down. Linda Albert's horses never get bet like that first time out. Was bet to favoritism, comes back and whistles, handy fashion, an excuse, returns, blinkers, LASIKs. Maybe you'd like to see this horse with a sprint once going on. He's going to try to take him right to the front, I think, and see if he can carry it. Wouldn't be a surprise to me. This horse has a lot of talent. Yep.
Final race on the card is another turf event, 1 mile on the grass. The distance claiming 16 to 12,500. We should go kind of separate ways here. Keith, you used favorite image. I ended up not using, even though I had him on and off my ticket. Of course, his last, not his last turf race, but the couple before, very strong, going to the lead, being able to continue, not backing up. Then last time out right here at Laurel, kind of between horses, didn't seem to enjoy that too much, to be quite honest. Weekend afterwards, do you see him shaking loose here? Because that seems to be what he likes to do most.
You see the comment, rated, bumped early. How about not rating? Let's go to the front. Yeah, I mean, you got that race off the left. Maybe they try to tweak something, do something a little bit different. Can't fault them for that. But in this field, you got a horse that titrate from the rail. He used to want to go to the front. They've changed tactics. This horse wants to close now. Honor My World wants to go from the back of the pack. Samui Sunset from way back, right, from left field. Why not? Let's get on the engine and let's go.
Yeah, I use the closer in here. We're going a mile. I'm hoping that the pace is there. I think it might be.
Yes.
And see how things unfold there in race number 10 as we finish off with lightning round. Keith, I'm putting your feet to the fire here.
Oh, jeez.
Who's going to win the Belmont Stakes?
I forgot to look at lightning round. Who's going to win it? Oh, now you really got me going.
Look, I'm going
I'll
with
give you a
Creative
3-horse.
Minister.
You're going to Creative Minister. I'll
Yeah.
just do a little box. It's not going to pay. I'll go Modonical, Nest, and Creative Minister. There you go.
Okay, no,
All
I'd love
right.
to see the filly get the job done here. She's actually kind of sneakily intriguing here for Trainer Top Pleasure, but Creative Minister, the way he's shown that upward
Yeah,
curve,
he
every
has.
single race he's run faster for Trainer Kenny McPeak, and loved his third finish in the Preakness behind early voting, Epicenter. He showed that he's got the class to compete with this.
He does.
I'm not in love with We the People, the favorite
Okay.
in the Belmont Stakes. I know that everyone thinks, that speed angle doesn't look like anyone really wants to go with him. A triple-digit buyer in the Peter Pan Stakes lost out. If Flavien Prat is clever, he's going to go to the front, get cute, maybe take back.
Right.
So I'm hoping that any other runner, like maybe Skippy Longstocking, maybe my host Creative Minister, is going to spot that. I like Brian Hernandez, a very, very strong tactical rider, I think, to say, hey, Flavien, no, we're going to keep the move on. If you want to
All
go
right.
to the front, we're not going to make it easy for you. So very, very intrigued by this year's running of the
good.
Belmont Stakes. And then move on to, we'll start with your best bet, and then I'll just mention mine. You already kind of alluded your hand at it. You're going to go with a Gallant Gold.
Gallant Gold, turning back in distance. This is the key here for this one. Gets the target, the speed, has run big at a price. You're going to get a square price today. Hopefully 5-6 to 1, I would think. Arojo, sit back, stalk, do a little circle move if you got to. This horse can sweep and go by. I think we can get it done at like 5 or 6 to 1.
I hope so. Yeah, race 9 is my best bet. Smarten Up. He's my single coming out of that stakes race at Monmouth Park on the sloppy surface against tough runners, and then a little bit of trouble in Federico Tessio. I think he's the one to beat in the later stages. How about a bit of a price play for you?
Yeah, another price play. Who do we have here? Radical Right. Yeah, may not be a huge price. I want at least 9 to 2 to 6 on Radical Right. That race is kind of wide open again. Improving 3-year-old. Worked out a trip on the turf last time. We're going to go second time Lasix. Very capable barn. I think the extra 16th of a mile is going to be perfect for this guy. He was really rolling late. I think he levels off.
My price play is in race number 5. I mentioned Air One, 6 to 1 Morning Lion. I hope I'm going to get that. Last time, of course, in distance, he ran a career best figure. Didn't get the best of starts going. 2 turns, had a break. Gets ties like Pastina on board. Decent works. I think this could work out for him here. And then, of course, we do want to make sure that everyone's aware that tomorrow on Sunday at our sister track at Gulfstream Park, there is a mandatory payout of the Rainbow Pick 6. And look at the estimation for the jackpot. $3.5 million.
Like we haven't had enough work to do this weekend so far with these cars. Now we got to go to Gulfstream and navigate. Hey, when it's 3.5 up, I'm going to give it an extra look. Yes.
Yeah, you're going to have to take an extra look for sure. Well, that will do it for the morning show. I'll be back later today with Calais Francois as well. We'll send it up to Dave Rodman to inform you of the scratches and changes. But 10 race card on Belmont Stakes Day. It's going to be a good one.
Everybody enjoy. We got a great crowd so far. Load up your first bet accounts. Be kind to everybody out there. Your bartenders, enjoy the day. It's going to be a good one.